Welcome to our Students with King Nonviolence Spotlight Series. Today we are going to tell you about an amazing person who is helping to change the world. When you hear her awesome story, it will hopefully spark something in you to make a difference and make your community better for everybody. Our spotlight person is Mrs. Felicia Bolden Mobley. To some, Felicia Bolden Mobley is bright, innovative, and driven. To others, she's witty, dependable, and strong. To her family and friends, she is a Christian woman who loves God. Felicia is faithful and loyal, striving every day to make this world a better place. Yes, she is an Atlanta native and daughter of a civil rights veteran and minister, the late Reverend Willie M. Bolden, and retired university administrator, Dr. Georgiana Bolden. Her father was the wagon master for the 1968 mule train from Marks, Mississippi to Washington, D.C. for the Poor People's Campaign. He organized demonstrations in the Deep South where, said those who knew him, he was often beaten, sometimes while protecting others from the clubs and fists of police. Felicia enrolled in Xavier University of Louisiana, where she graduated cum laude with a Bachelor of Science degree in biology, minor in chemistry, and honors with distinction in English. Continuing her academic pursuits, she received a master's degree in health administration from Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis, Missouri. She also received a PhD in health sciences from Northern Illinois University in DeKalb, Illinois. Over the last 15 years, Felicia has established a successful career in healthcare administration, holding numerous positions in healthcare management to include nonprofit, academic hospital, and university sectors. Felicia's involvement in professional, public service, and volunteer organizations is equally rewarding. She is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and the Greater Metropolitan Atlanta chapter of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated. Her personal mantra, which has guided her decisions since the age of 12, says, "If better is possible, good is not enough."
My father worked very closely with Jemida, who I lovingly call J.O., as foot soldiers. And anytime you think about putting on an activity, it takes a lot of preparation. And so what my father or our fathers would do is before Dr. King would advance to a city, they would go and meet with the individuals to make sure that they understood the principles of nonviolence. Because again, it was a very difficult time in America. However, they knew that hate cannot conquer hate, but that love could conquer hate. And so as a child growing up, having a father who was a part of the civil rights movement, Jemida and I and her siblings and all of us knew that we had to lead by example. And so even after many years after the civil rights movement, and he also participated in the Poor People's March from Marks, Mississippi to DC on behalf of individuals who needed equal pay or better pay. He realized that message never gets old. Also, he was an everyday person. My father met Dr. King in a pool hall in Savannah, Georgia, and my father was a pool shark, and he would run pool games, and he and Dr. King played pool, and Dr. King said, if I beat you, will you come work for me in the movement? And of course, Dr. King, my dad lost, and so from that point on, he was a part. My dad, he passed away in 2016, but for many decades walked around with a knot in his head from when he was beaten while he was protesting and working in the civil rights movement. But they were conditioned and taught, you're not going to fight back. And the main reason was because they did not want the story to be distorted. They did not want the focus to be taken off of what was important and why They were sacrificing leaving their families, leaving their homes, sometimes leaving their jobs so that they could work for the greater good of the individual. Well, at this particular time, my father and some of the other civil rights protesters organized a swim-in. And the swim-in is that they all jumped, and they were all African-American, jumped into the pool at the Monsoon Hotel. The hotel manager at the time took bottles of acid and was trying to pour bottles of acid in the pool while the African-American swimmers were swimming. He wasn't up on his chemistry to know that if you pour acid in a base, it's going to neutralize. But one of the things that they recognized is the power and the influence of the media. So they made sure that the Associated Press was there as the manager was pouring the acid into the pool. You can Google it. It's a swim-in in St. Augustine, Florida. And that happened in June of 1964. And many believe that that image of this hotel manager pouring acid on swimmers, or pouring acid in the pool on swimmers, was a face that helped then pass the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for our Spotlight story with Mrs. Felicia Bolden Mobley. As a member of the beloved community, Felicia is doing her part to change the quality of life for all people. If you would like to learn more, visit thekingcenter.org.